Hidden away in the valleys of northwest Auckland, you will find a piece of history. History continued, and new history being written. In a place called Waimalku, the home of Brook Winery. The Brook story is an intriguing story that reaches back to early beginnings. Brook wines are proudly produced by the Ivicevic family, who've been making fine wines for over 100 years. The story starts in the beautifully scenic country of Croatia, where Ante Ivicevic made wines in the old country, Yugoslavia, in the cellar of their stone cottage. Mick, Ante's son, also learned the art of winemaking and continued on after Ante's passing. In 1904, son Mick arrived in New Zealand, working as a gum digger. He fell ill and returned to Croatia in 1912, where he recovered and married his wife Anne. Children followed, and in 1924 Mick returned to New Zealand, leaving his family behind, determined to make a better life and start the next chapter of winemaking in the new land known as Aotearoa. Years passed and Mick's son Tony, at the early age of 11, travelled by himself to New Zealand to be with his father and help plant and establish their first vineyard in Henderson in 1935. Current owner and chief winemaker Anthony Ivicevic also started his winemaking career very early, after his father Tony experienced poor health in 1965. Anthony, just 15 years old, left school and stepped up to the challenges of making wine like his father and the fathers before him had done. It was in his blood. Taking over the vineyard that was still making predominantly fortified wines, he learned his craft on the job, and through extensive reading and talking and listening to seasoned winemakers, he built his knowledge, trying different methods that has seen him evolve into the master winemaker he is today. The Brook story started a new chapter in 1985. There had been a very noticeable change in the New Zealand drinking patterns, and ever astute, Anthony bought the family business and set out on a new course. Moving away from predominantly fortified wines, Brook started to produce table wines, wines to be enjoyed with food. In those early days, winemaking was often a collaborative affair. The premium winemakers around Auckland shared ideas and workload, helping each other harvest, load and unload trucks, especially in the days before forklifts. Anthony remembers learning how to swing a spade from early Croatian gum diggers and working ones for 2 nights and 3 days without sleep. He remembers them as gut-busting but enjoyable times. And Brook grew with a new New Zealand wine taste. As the wine culture developed, Brook was there every step of the way. And like those in the Ivicevic dynasty that went before, the next generation is now stepping up to the challenge, with Anthony's son Linton, the 4th generation in New Zealand, now working alongside him to produce world-class wines. And like all good stories, this one is developing and expanding. In 2004 they were joined by talented young winemaker James Rowan. James came with talent, passion and qualifications aplenty. And it was not only Anthony and Linton that recognised the true talent, so did the industry, and James has become a senior and respected wine judge. So with a team built on experience, respect and trust, they have forged on to create many spectacular vintages, with wines that keep setting new standards. Just 22 kilometres west of Auckland lies a magical valley where the landscape, the soil, the sun and the rain combine mysteriously to produce exceptional growing conditions, perfect for growing grapes. Winemakers around the world, including us, call this terroir, but privately we have a different name for it, wine magical. The vineyard is nestled in a unique microclimate, growing Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris and Malbec, as well as producing an exceptional range of wines from their locally grown Waimalku fruit. Brook sourced top quality grapes from premium vineyards in the Marlborough's Wairau Valley and other regions across New Zealand. And you are welcome to come and experience the magic at the source, our cellar door. As you arrive, even before you enter our cellar, you know you're somewhere special. The setting is stunning. Have a browse of the wines available. Take some time to taste the range of wines with expert advice and tasting notes from our Westbrook family. Put together a little picnic and settle in the landscape garden, under the olive trees and next to the duck pond. The perfect place to discover some of our exquisite award-winning wines. It is simply wine magical. Westbrook history is a long and rich one. Every bottle tells its own story. Every wine a testament to passion, talent and heritage. It is simply wine magical.